Hello, and welcome back to my Launch Complexes stream of RP-1. So, gonna try this flight again, given that I was failing miserably last time. Sure, we'll do out this way. Here we go. got to get to 150 kilometers. Should be able to do that. Maybe? Maybe not. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna be okay. Probably. Not by as much as I would have liked. Okay. The entry angle on this one is much worse than before. Yep, definitely a worse entry angle than before. But made it just fine. Kind of cloudy. It's going to be a little hard to pick out the Cape. Yeah, Cape is definitely to the north. Gotta come right even more. Okay. That's lined up more reasonably. All right, let's get low and slow. Another successful flight. Nice squirrel. Yeah, this is third time's the charm. Okay, we can finally get a reasonable second stage engine here and a relightable stage.
Hey there.
Hello. So, third time was the charm on the X-Plane mission.
Congrats. So yeah, I ended up playing a lot more Factorio than I expected.
Yeah, Ryan can definitely go at some length on Factorio.
Well, it is good obsessive fun.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a lot of hours that disappeared. I do prefer multiplayer Factorio to single player. So single player
sure.
too easy. I was gonna say it's just too easy to feel like time passes without actually having done much because you have no connection.
Yeah. Okay,
Alex Hudson.
Oh, hey, Alex. So let's play. Welcome. If you look at the about description of the Twitch stream, get a link to the RP-1 Express install, and that'll get you all you need. Also, our Discord. Note that I'm playing with an in development version, so your experience won't be exactly the same, but it'll be pretty similar. Yes, I feel like having started out on just one more turn with Civ 2, that prepared me well for KSP and Factorio and everything else.
Yes, that's true. Although I will say that KSP time, I mean, not that I'm playing KSP right now, but when I am playing KSP, it feels like I did more because I was busy learning more rather than just plate spinning, which happens sometimes in Factorio, but not quite as much as KSP.
Yeah, I feel like KSP twiddles it. In some ways, I feel like it's as close as we have ever gotten to actually good edutainment.
Yes, I agree. For the people who want to learn about rocket science.
Yes. Or space in general.
I mean, maybe with RP-1. I feel like,
Oh, true. Yes, you have. Right. You
I
learn
mean,
not
not
that
even
much.
the. Yeah, it's not that you're not just not learning about the solar system with Kerbal, but you're also not really learning how space science works and how space programs work for real.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, so close and yet so far. I'll take it. Oh, I should have looked at what the orbital parameters were before I took it. I'm sure we can meet them. Okay, launch to 50 degrees. That's fine. Hey, Dragonair.
Yeah, I think the only part that's stopping me from just continuing to obsess about with KSP forever is that I have to find like such esoteric things to do to challenge myself that now it feels kind of like, am I just being dumb here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're more what you're feeling challenged by is the gameplay than the building and like the joy of just building cool stuff, um, then yeah, you sort of run out of
Yeah,
challenge
I'm
thing.
not as into the aesthetics of it as much as you are, which
Clearly.
is just play style, obviously, and
Yeah,
is not meant to be any sort of judgment on either of us.
yeah. Yeah, I think part of it also is that, I mean, I would not have sunk probably a tenth as many hours into Kerbal as I have if I hadn't started modding it within like a month.
Yeah,
um, both because I like the game that we've made more than that game, but also because like a fair amount of what I'm doing, even when I'm playing, is thinking about how to change it.
yeah. That also makes quite a bit of sense.
Yeah, Squirrel. I don't remember that on Apple II. I played something like that on, I think like a Mac 2SI, probably. Might have been even a Mac SE. Um, and then I definitely also, so periodically I hawk a game called Orbiter. Not the Orbiter you're thinking of, but it was a game that came out in like the mid late 80s. Uh, and it basically, like, I played it on an SE, and there was this tiny little postage stamp vector graphics screen, and then everything else was switches and gauges. And you flew space shuttle missions, and mission control talked to you using the original Mac text to speech, and you could use the Canadarm and do all sorts of stuff.
Cool.
It was very fun. It was remarkably nerdy, and it probably set me on my path because I played it starting in kindergarten, first grade, something like that. Which is kind of nuts looking back on it.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to the person or people who made that.
Let me look it up on Moby Games.
Also, I will say a note on the previous thing. Kerbal is the only game I've ever worked on that I've played legitimately for fun while working on it, or after working on it.
Yeah, it definitely sucks you in. This was, where are these people? Oh, it was, huh? It's published, it was made by Spectrum Holobyte, because of course it was.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. It will also not surprise you to know that the guy who made it was uh, on the design team of various harpoons
Yep, doesn't
and
surprise me.
something called Sands of Fire. That.
Never heard of that one,
What's
but I
Sands of
did really
Fire?
like Harpoon.
Yeah. It looks like it's
What the hell is with this cover art?
for Orbiter.
Yeah.
Oh, um, welcome to the '80s, I guess.
I guess so.
Also, I mean, the thing in the center looks like the Spectrum Holobyte logo, so that's maybe what it was.
Okay, I guess I just the window felt super random there, but I guess somebody really fell in love with the Corel Draw trail they figured out how to make at the end of the spaceship and just went nuts with it.
Yeah, this makes so much more sense in retrospect that these folks were clearly the folks behind Harpoon as well. Uh, not involved in Harpoon, but did engineering on
Wait, Gordon
Gato.
Walton? That's Gordon
Yeah.
Walton? I worked with Gordon Walton.
Such a small industry.
Yeah, Gordon Walton was really funny. I worked with him on my first game, Sims Online,
Okay, good. Because
and
I saw Sims Online, but I thought that was before you were doing Sim stuff.
Sims Online was my first project.
Okay.
It was an MMO doing Sims, so I just spent like all my time working because it was an
Yes.
MMO that was going live and back in the bad old days when you
Yes.
just worked constantly. And he would take his laptop with him to the bathroom. That was one weird thing that he would do.
I mean,
He
I did that before I had a phone that was good enough to use instead.
in the office
Not in the office. Okay, that's
where people knew you did it. Okay, yeah, I mean that's he had an expended law in the rocket launcher in his office that he would trot out once in a while to show us for I don't know as a threat, as just curiosity. And he was in this picture. He's quite a bit younger, but we called him Mr. Magoo out of love because he was a great boss to work with. He would feed us and feel bad for us working late hours. He was there just as much as everybody else was.
cool. Well, that definitely makes me feel way warmer and fuzzier because, like, to have that, to know that like, guy who basically seemed to have been core to making that, it remained a pretty cool dude throughout. It's always good to hear.
Yeah. He was fun to talk to. I wish I had met him when I was a more senior developer, but he was like the executive producer on the project, and I'd actually interact with him, even though it was like a 150-person team, but I just didn't know much about anything when I was a newbie
Yeah.
game dev. He's still working too.
Ah, cool.
He's on Crowfall.
Huh. I should send him an email then. Oh.
Gonna send him a message on LinkedIn.
Scroll, yeah, I guess by those standards a whippersnapper because I used Apple IIs at school, but our first computer was a Mac SE. Um, Did a lot of Aldous Super Paint, and it had Dark Castle on it, and obviously Orbiter, and Chuck Yeager's Advanced Flight Trainer, where Chuck Yeager would ream you out if you crashed. Let's play. What's CDDA? I'm fairly blinkered in terms of my knowledge of current games other than this Kerbal or the stuff I'm working on or like that. Oh, it's Sessa Play. Sorry. I thought that was an E. Thanks, Dragonair. Is that the... That's Cataclysm Darkness? Yeah, I think that's... Is that the thing that Paul spent... other Paul, not you, Paul. PGF Paul is like spending all his time modding. Or was. Yeah, that's definite. That's yes. Yeah. So speaking of Kerbal connections, the guy who created CCAN is obsessed with CDA, or at least was the last time I remember him talking about games.
This looks like Dwarf Fortress.
Are you surprised that he's into it?
No.
Given that Dwarf Fortress is his other go-to game.
Well, I didn't know that it was his other go-to game.
Yeah, no, 100% it is.
Anybody with our proclivities is into Dwarf Fortress.
Yes.
So.
On the plus side, he doesn't have to decompile either of these games.
Yeah, that's nice.
Relatedly, Harmony is awesome. I've been pushing a lot of PRs to the community, KSP community fixes, and Harmony is super cool. Like the fact that I am too lazy to think in assembly / also KSP has the stupid obfuscation stuff that makes it hard anyway. I've not done much in the way of transpiler stuff. Like I looked at it sideways and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. But the other patches are straightforward.
Yeah, that's cool. They should have made KSP even easier to mod. The obfuscation stuff is dumb.
Yeah, I mean, basically all it does is it gives you a headache when you read the decompile, and it doesn't do anything else. It's like, why? Also, it has a lot of branches and makes things slow. I mean, it doesn't make things appreciably slower because my memory is egg actually benchmarked, and effectively you get a branch every instruction running mono, so it doesn't do that much harm.
I feel like Dwarf Fortress kind of is survival. Survival genre is a little broadly defined anyway.
Yeah. Wait a minute, am I building the wrong thing? What is this? No, I'm not building the wrong thing. No, I was just super dumb for a sec. No, this is the Navsat version. Sure. Yes. Okay. But that does mean that we can make a lunar orbiter.
I'm pleased to see you're using my backward baby sergeant solution a lot.
I mean, I've been using it since like the RP-1 tutorial campaign.
There.
But I am perfectly happy to give you credit for it because
No, no,
I
no,
may
no.
well have
That's fine.
forgotten
That's I
that.
probably got it from you. Who knows?
No, it's like it's. I wish so. So I guess technically we're all using the Pioneer Able solution.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, no, it's yeah, like the trajectory design of Pioneer Able is super interesting and it's a little above my pay grade. But it's like because it's you have to perform a direct insert TLI from launch such well with some coast such that uh, TLI the yeah TLI is over Hawaii, so you have um,
And they launched from the
ground
Cape.
coverage. They launched from Vandy. Wait, no, they what was no, they must have launched from the Cape. Um,
So what do you mean that it was direct ascent if they TLI'd over Hawaii?
because so yeah, they launched from 17A. Um, so it was direct descent in the sense of there was no parking orbit. Um, they launched and did the Thor burn and the Able burn and aligned for TLI and spun up and cut loose the probe and its insertion motor and the Altair, and then fired the Altair at the appropriate time to complete insertion and do TLI in such alignment that on arrival at the moon, uh, it would the probe would still be pointing roughly prograde along its orbital track with respect to the moon, so it could fire the solid and capture.
Yeah, all of that sounds reasonable, except the part where you said that they did final insertion. There was no parking order. They did final insertion and TLI at the same time, but they did that over Hawaii after launching from the Cape. That's 3/4 of the way around the planet. That sounds like a parking orbit to me.
No, there definitely was not a parking orbit. It may not have been over Hawaii. It may have been over some other ground station. I forget where.
Okay.
But like Thor Able did not have the juice to insert that into orbit.
Yeah, I mean, like, if yeah, okay, makes sense. I mean, if it was somewhere over, I don't know, Africa or
Yeah. Um, yeah, I forget exactly where. I thought it was over. Because the thing of it is, like, yeah. Anyway,
so it didn't work the first time. So
I mean, yes, it worked
how
none of
many
the
times?
times. Like one of maybe 2 or 3 times that the Altair ever failed. Like Altair was incredibly reliable.
feel like if you can pick your time of year to do your insertion, that's not that hard. And
What's
if you're launching from the Cape, like if you can basically end up with when the moon is around, the moon's inclination is around the Cape's inclination. I don't see how that's hard. I mean, not easy or anything like that, but you know.
Yeah, I mean it's not strictly speaking hard. It's just yeah that you have to nail the launch timing and everything else.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got oodles of time to use your slide rule or whatever they did.
Yes, yeah, no, like it's not the sort of thing you can seat of your pants do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, I
But
guess
given that you pick the right time, then it's mostly just fly eastish, right? Pick the right inclination, and then just do everything. Spin up, pick the right timing for the burn.
yeah. Yeah, well, the burn has to not be a minimum energy TLI because of
Because of
the
imprecision.
no, because you need to make sure that you're coming in right angle. Like you
It's
probably
pretty close.
it's pretty close, but I think you probably want like 3-day transit. My
Mm,
hunch is that you want a little faster transit. Get that to be right.
I don't think so. So I did one like that, not with Principia, obviously. So like I did it in easy mode, but essentially you do mostly a minimum burn because you want the perigee when you pass the moon to be kind of aligned with its orbit. Like you're either inside or outside its orbit. I did it around the dark side because I don't know why
Yep.
it was easier. But then because you've spun up, the alignment is such that like you're pointing backward along the track, so you can do that orbital insertion. You, if you do a non-minimum transfer, you're going to be way at your motors are going to be pointing in the wrong direction because you're
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Uh, yes. Yes, it does have to be near minimum.
yeah. So like if you imagine a free return, the standard
Yep.
like
Yeah, yeah. No, I get
yeah, yeah.
exactly what you're saying. I get the geometry of that now. Um, okay, do I want to? I guess I can risk doing a. What's the deadline for Lunar Orbiter? It's literally 2 years. Oh, yeah, I can totally risk that. All right. So now we get to make a Lunar Orbiter. We have a lot of payload capacity. Oh, I already have. So still don't have any better avionics. That is a shame. Let's give it all the electricity. We'll make it very heavy. Well, not very heavy, but heavy. And give it some experiments.
I guess if you wanted to do a more than a minimal TLI, you could also do your TLI with some radial in or out.
Yep. Yeah. And my hunch is that that is what they did.
Yeah, that's
Don't
possible.
recall correctly. Okay, now I need to put solar panels on this for all the good it will do. Well, that's ludicrously expensive. Solar panels are stupid expensive.
They are. During early tech, yeah.
Yeah.
Like how you made yourself a little house there.
Yeah. 25 watts each, so don't think we actually need that much.
I mean, are you just powering a science core?
I'm powering a bunch of instruments.
You should always check which instruments are the. I mean, you probably did already. Did you check which ones are the 90-day ones?
Yeah.
And which
Yeah.
ones are
No,
not?
I specifically got micrometeorite and radiation, which are 90 days, but I didn't get which is probably dumb, just because I doubt like our orbit will probably get perturbed enough by the moon that we won't last 90 days.
But also, those two experiments, as far as I recall, have barely any power draw.
Right. I mean, that's why I felt like it was fine to take them. Like I skipped the magnetometer, which has a high power draw.
I know, but I mean that also means that you don't need anywhere like that amount of solar panel. Because if your 90-day experiments are the only ones that are going to be continuously drawing, you can trickle in any other like 1 hour, 2 hour experiment. You don't need to power everything all at once. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Scroller was only 5 minutes in? Could have sworn it coasted longer than that. I guess that means it must have done it over the Azores, not Hawaii. Which
that makes
means
sense.
it was not.
It's a direct ascent. Yeah.
Yeah, which interestingly means it was not at the DN. Which is to say they were probably doing the same thing that Butcher Script does.
Does Butcher Script do?
It'll give you a launch window every day, instead of doing the ANDN stuff. Right, so you'll get turned off. Moon versus.
Well, if you're launching it at the plane of the moon, everywhere is the AN and DN. Because, I mean, you're in the same plane.
Yeah, but they weren't launching to the plane of the moon.
Oh, they weren't?
No, because that's an artifact of stock, not Precipia.
I thought there were times when you could launch to the plane of the moon from.
Yeah, but I don't think 59 was one of them.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it was, but I don't think so. Okay, so we have comms. Do I want more than 1 BPS? That's the question. I think the answer is no, because it'll just make the antenna heavy. Not actually more energy efficient. Like I could go up to what? So it's 26 watts. Okay, so that doesn't make it that heavier, and that gives me a little more option. We'll go with that. Now we're transmitting at 56 watts. That's a considerable amount of watts. So I guess we do need a lot of solar panels, given that each one is only 25 watts. That's annoying. I was really hoping I could get away with. Yeah, that sucks. Well, this is going to be very expensive. Let's try something a little different. Okay. That seems fine. That's already 115 kilograms. I wonder if we have the TLI payload for that. No. No, we do not. No, we do not. Yeah, we just barely don't. That sucks. Is that gonna be in? Probably not. unless we're doing it. Like if we could do a direct injection, we'd be fine. But I'm not. I do not have. I do not have the slide rules to do it.
By the way, you're right. The uh, the moon was close to the minimum inclination around 1959, not maximum.
Yeah, I remember it was they had to do something funky. That makes sense. That barely makes any difference. Hmm. Okay, that's fine. Disable that. Nope. If that'll fit. Yes. Okay, now the numbers work. Not sure what made them better, but they work now. Just going to sim it and make sure it can still get to orbit. We almost have the AJ-10 mid. That will make life so much better. Oh, Alex, good call. I didn't think they were that heavy, but apparently they're that heavy. I guess it makes sense because the baby sergeant is only, what, like 20 something kilograms, and the probe itself weighs nothing, so the rest would all be solar panels. Right, let's see what this looks like. 5, 7. That's going to be tight. What's going on with our pitch? Why is our pitch screwed up? Oh, because I had 0.5 meters per second, not 50. Yes, that would be why. Some during the day. That's better. Not sure we're going to have enough delta V, but we'll see. Yep. I guess maybe I have to do a direct injection mission. Yes, we need to scrounge up about 50 meters per second somehow.
On which stage?
First two. Okay. All right, let's see how much delta V we get out of this. I mean, we could uh, just pay the tooling cost and shrink the stage instead of lowering utilization, and that could gain us some delta V. We also can shave about 100 meters per second off this. Yeah. Yeah. We can shave somewhere around 100 per second off that stage. It is currently at 68. Yeah, that alone is actually probably enough. That made a huge difference. Yep. All right. So that's what we'll do. Pay the tooling cost.
Look, I need to head to bed.
Good night. Thanks for coming by. And we'll catch up on programs sometime this week then.
Yep, for sure.
Just yeah, that's cheap enough to tool that we might as well just tool it. .81. What was the original delta V on this? $12,602. $95. All right, that's definitely more than the minimal delta V needed. All right, let's go ahead and tool it. Okay. Save 3 days. Probably worth it. Okay. That is actually a small rocket. That is the not the smallest rocket, but a pretty small rocket. Basically the size of a original Atlas or Titan. Late 50s. Gonna take a week to roll that out. And doing over here. Efficiency is improving slowly. All right, let's try to do a lunar orbit. And we'll do one of these. So for that, sorry, I just saw chat. For that rocket, the mission was the unguided lunar orbit. And Alex, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm happy with what we got. I'm not gonna think about it too hard. Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, that's what's going on there. Wrong things were. What the heck? Oh, yeah, that's what happened. we go. All right, this is looking better. Okay. We up, up, and away we go. Okay. Down we come. Why are we rolling like mad? That was super weird. That was super weird. we go. We gotta run north a little bit more. Okay, now we've got alignment. Give or take. It's a reasonable straight in. That was pretty good. That went well. Okay, now everybody's done the retirement extension. Okay, now let's get a NavSat contract. $60 units. All right, let's go to 67 degrees. Here we go. Okay, and we want that. $7. And look at the calculator. 155, 850. Looks fine to me. Well, that's hilarious. Oh, no, because it... Yeah. So we're going to burn next to nothing. Stage. That's okay. Go a little higher. All right. Let's go. Or not. All right, I'm just going to go again rather than pulling it. Don't have any way to fix that. Let's see how this works. Okay, almost 7 degrees of overloft, but that's okay. Oh, oops. Why did it do that as the default? Oh, I know why. Here we go. We did it, team. Second stage ignited fine. So far, so good. Good enough. Okay, let's spin up and perform apogee kick. Okay, I think that's close enough. Nice. Very nice. Great success. I doubt flying that contract makes financial sense, given how expensive it is to launch Titans in terms of engineering costs. Cool. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop there for tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Catch you next time.